I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and you all have to say hi, YouTube. Hello, lovely audience. You may be wondering why the setup is completely different. The reason is we're in the middle of a stream, which by the way you can catch every weekend at the time on the screen because I'm going to edit it. Someone wrote hi Twitch. That's fine too. So essentially, last second during a dancing stream, I had the idea of doing a little tier list. Lovely audience. This little tier list is a bit special. This isn't any TV show nostalgia tier list. This, lovely audience, is the best shows that were very girly that I totally didn't watch as a totally cis teenager. Now remember, there's one rule of tier lists. My opinion is subjective. You have to be nice to me in the comments, that's the rules. And the live chat, you have to be nice to me too. We have 5 categories, lovely audience. 5. These categories go in a couple of tiers. We have whether it's an epic show, a very good show, a good show, just watched it for euphoria, or ultra smelly. And it's gotta be ultra smelly because I can't smell normally. Okay, so first off is High School Musical. Now, High School Musical is a very popular musical throughout the 2000s. I'm gonna count all 3 of them. The second one's the best one out of all of them. However, overall, with the experience, I'd say that it was definitely a show that was stereotyped as like one that girly, but I think mostly girls tended to like it, so I felt like I wasn't allowed to. So I secretly watched it. In a school trip, funny enough, in a little bus. So on that little bus, I saw High School Musical 1 and 2 in a row, if I remember correctly. And honestly, I think they're really good. I think the second one is way better than the other ones, which makes it a bit tricky. Though the third one is a theatrical movie, the others are just TV movies. But I guess the gender affirming aspect of it was that a lot of the girls dressed in that very like 2000s over the top fashion that was very popular at the time that I didn't really get to wear. So I'm gonna put it in very good show. Also, a side note, there's nothing heterosexual about the song I Don't Dance. There's nothing even remotely heterosexual about that song. I just want to put that out there. They made a baseball song about what way you swing. It doesn't get any more direct than that, now does it? So the thing of Hamtaro was that there was a video store near where I lived when I was little, and we got to rent a movie or a TV show every week. But I tended to always pick Hamtaro over and over and over. I only had 2 episodes available. The Cinderella episode and the theme park episode. As you can imagine, an episode themed around Cinderella. Yeah, that's going to be a bit gender euphoric. I'm going to put it in this category of girly shows because all my friends said it was girly and lame. But what they didn't know is Hamtaro is girly and epic. That's right. Hamtaro is at the top. So Hamtaro is a show about cute little hamsters that have a little ham clubhouse. And I think it was the only show I had access to as a really, really little kid that was just about just people vibing. I guess this would be the slice of life anime category that is very popular, but I didn't know what that was. All I knew was Hamtaro and the Ham Clubhouse. They never gave up. And that's why that show meant a lot to me, I think. Just a show of cute little hamsters doing cute little things. BG was peak gender envy. I know they're literally a hamster, but let me live. I would watch the Cinderella episode over and over and over and over and over. I wanted to be the main character Laura as she plays Cinderella in the school play A Girl Can Dream. I wanted the magical hamsters that can somehow speak to deliver me the glass slipper so I can do the play. Also, I think Hamtaro overall kind of taught me the overall positivity or like the meaning of like teamwork and like being kind to others, because Hamtaro is really nice to every character. Sometimes he's a bit stubborn, a bit stuck up, but I think I really learned to just really appreciate teamwork and kindness overall. And I think Hamtaro is a big part of that, and that made me a kinder person in my opinion. Up next is iCarly. I won't talk about the director and all the awful things he's done. I'm gonna keep that separate. This isn't the video for it. However, that was pretty bad. However, the show itself, iCarly, was very fun at the time. I enjoyed it a lot. It was actually probably one of the earlier girly sitcoms that I saw, and I found it really inspiring and happy. Even if all the characters are objectively really mean to each other. Carly was peak gender envy. The theme song was catchy and cute. And I found I guess you could say I resonated to the idea of someone of an internet content show with a live audience. Funny how that works out, huh? Spencer was a great character. Yeah, Spencer's a really good character. And I think Spencer's my earliest exposure to like young adults just as a concept, I guess. Because like he was older than the characters I was used to seeing in TV shows, but he was still pretty kiddish. I think that made me feel better about getting older because I realized I could still be a goofball. Have I seen the reboot? I have seen a lot of it. I haven't finished it, but I actually really liked the reboot. I think they made it as good as they could without some of the characters. I find it really funny what they did with Freddy. He's just struggling. And you kind of expect that from him. And I really like how they characterized iCarly as an adult, right? I found that really interesting. Especially as an adult content creator, I guess. It was interesting seeing iCarly go through some things that I go through, which is really crazy, actually. Now I will never reach the internet popularity of iCarly. I mean, she streams on her own website. You have to be big to do that. But it's what it is. iCarly had a lot of positivity and a whole lot of negativity. I think the main reason I can't put iCarly higher is because I find the jokes a bit mean-spirited sometimes. There's a lot of jokes about people's body weight, like people in different circumstances, people less rich, I guess. There's a lot of negative spirited jokes. So as a result, we're gonna put iCarly in good show. Not very good, but good. However, if the reboot was on this list, I'll put the reboot higher. Because I think the reboot doesn't have as many badly aged jokes because it's newer. Hannah Montana, I think, is like the Disney girly show TM. It's the catalyst of girly show TM in the 2000s. Now for context, Hannah Montana ended around the time I was getting into Disney Channel. At least in Australia. So it's a show I caught like the tail end of it. And I felt afraid to watch it because of how stereotypically girly it was. I mean, it was about a pop star that wore a wig to present as a epic pop star. Two identities. As you can imagine, me as a trans person, I found that appealing. The idea of putting on a blonde wig and being a cute pop star and then going back to regular life. I think if there was like trans Hannah Montana fan fiction, I think that'd be peak literature, but this is just what we're in. Sadly, I don't know if that's a thing. If it is, please recommend me some that are very wholesome. Thank you. So, the thing of Hannah Montana is that I didn't get to watch much of it, but I did get to watch the movie. And literally this stream, the chat saw it, I danced to Hoedown Throwdown, which by the way, I stream, haha. But I got to watch the Hannah Montana movie on a bus trip, when I had like some school trip. Because the bus had like a TV screen, and you could bring a movie of your choice. I brought Camp Rock, but that's the next one on the list, funny enough. But I got to see Hannah Montana the movie, and I took it in. This is my only chance to see Hannah Montana the movie. And I was correct, that was my last chance to see it ever at that moment. Therefore, it meant a lot. Is that 10 gifted subs? So overall, the Hannah Montana movie was a mind-blowing experience for a tiny Lucy. She was so happy that she got to finally see this Hannah Montana thing because she liked music, performing, and little kid me really liked dancing and singing. And I think I got kind of discouraged to do that as I got older because of boy stereotypes. So Hannah Montana was kind of the last little stretch I got to kind of think big and imagine being a cute pop star. And that was really inspiring for me. I haven't seen much of the actual show, but I saw some of it. And what I've seen I did quite like. I watched it way later though, as an adult. But I still have a lot of nostalgia for the movie because that was truly my only chance to see it. Therefore, it meant absolutely everything in that moment. Also, Hoedown Throwdown slaps so hard. Due to Hannah Montana's massive impact for my gender euphoria, and the movie, I'm gonna rate it very highly. But unfortunately, I can't rate it at the absolute top, I guess, because well, I haven't seen the actual show that much, but the movie meant absolutely everything to a little Lucy. So I'm gonna put it right at the top of very good show. It meant a lot to me, and I think that is all it had to be. It just meant a lot to a Lucy that was dressing up as a girl secretly and wearing a wig. I think she really resonated to seeing someone else wearing a wig to be able to be something else, I guess. So for that, Hannah Montana gets the very good show rating. Up next, we get to go to Camp Rock, and Camp Rock was massive for me. You know, the reason being, when I got to get some Disney Channel TV movies, Camp Rock was one of the first musicals, period, I've ever seen. Is it a musical? I don't know. Or it's just a movie with lots of songs. Either way, I think Camp Rock's impact was such a diversity of music genres and a really nervous girl that hid her face and she was afraid to tell the world what she had to say. You know, like the song. So the point is, I really resonated with the whole movie, but the song This Is Me, ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I don't have too much to say other than the whole climax to the This Is Me song at the end of her finding her voice and her voice being hidden the entire way through camp. That meant a lot to me. Also, got to see like girls in cute outfits I was envious of in that 2000s fashion. That was very cool. Also, the Jonas Brothers were hot. So as a result, Camp Rock is in very good show category. I have no idea how divisive the list is going to be actually. I mean, look at Hamtaro, all triumphant at the top. Nothing can defeat Hamtaro. Okay, so Zoe 101 was a bit before my time. So the thing with Zoe 101 is, like iCarly, it's made by the guy. So unfortunately, it's aged kind of bad. Arguably worse than iCarly has. So I have to admit, it had so much euphoria. Oh my god. It's painful how euphoric the show is for me because of all the girls wearing cute outfits and doing stereotypical girly stuff at school. And by that I mean an illogical university campus as a high school. So as a result, Zoe 101 is like a step down from iCarly, but just know that I found Zoe 101 more euphoric from a trans girl trying to find some representation way. However, the mean-spirited jokes are even worse than Zoe 101. Oh, also, it has a really good opening, because all these shows do. I think Zoe 101 would be a lot better if different people made it. However, I think it was the ultimate like high school power fantasy story, because it's a bunch of rich kids in a rich school that has a sushi shop down the road from their classes. You know. So Pup Girls, similar to Hannah Montana, was a show I felt like I wasn't allowed to watch because of it being stereotypically girly. Even though, like someone in the audience has said, it's basically Dragon Ball Z marketed to girls. So I liked it a lot. It's probably gonna be in the very good show tier. However, it didn't leave as much of an impact, surprisingly. Probably because I didn't get to watch it as much. Because she was cute. I think a big deal about it was showing, like, just stereotypically cute characters fight stuff. I think that was really impactful for a lot of people. So that's why it gets a very good show rating. However, I kind of like Hannah Montana upwards a little more. Lovely audience, it's time to talk about Wizards of Waverly Place. Now, Wizards of Waverly Place is a sitcom about wizards that are secretly wizards. This show was my obsession. When I went on Disney Channel, if Wizards was on, I was there. I watched every single episode through the seasons. And I have to say it. Alex could do better than Mason. Mason is a toxic boyfriend. And just kind of flip-flop between her and Juliet. And Alex didn't deserve that. Therefore, Alex should have been with Dean. Dean, dependable. Strong. Honest. Communicates his feelings. Loving. Does his best despite negative rumors about him. Dean and Alex. Dean and Alex. Not Mason. Mason is a terrible ship. I'm committed to that opinion. I had to say it. I had to say it. Mason, terrible boyfriend. Terrible. So, Wizards of Waverly Place is very impactful for me. Watched every episode. I think Alex is a big deal because I think she was a very, like, against the grain Disney protagonist because she was, like, very tough but still girly. Like, they managed to make a tomboy character but still present feminine. And I think that helped unpack some gender expectations and roles for me. So, Wizards is very impactful. Also, you know, there's the episode where Max turns into a girl. I'm unlocking some memories of this one. Yeah, there's an episode where Max just turns into a girl. And then for like 4 episodes, she's just Maxine for the next 4 episodes. No one does anything to try to turn him back. Just perpetually a girl for 4 episodes. And if that's not an egg cracker, I don't know what is. I was obsessed with these 4 episodes where Max was just randomly a girl. Now that was peak. Maxine was epic because there was episodes where Max actually seemed kind of okay about being a girl. And I think that was the only representation I had of someone turning into a girl and saying, hey, this isn't too bad. That meant everything. Wizards of Waverly Place gets into the epic show tier. And it goes above Hamtaro, believe it or not. It wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't an easy decision, lovely audience. But those 2 shows are peak. And that's what the tier is for. For peak. Lol, unlock so many memories, true. Hamtaro was surprisingly dethroned. It's tough, but Hamtaro means everything to me, but also Wizards means everything to me. They're both beautiful. They're both beautiful shows. That's why they're in the epic show tier. I'm a Mason hater. I'm #1 Mason hater. Terrible. Terrible boyfriend. Worst Disney ship. Ever. Okay, except maybe Spencer and Good Luck Charlie, but we'll get to that. Spencer was very bad. If you watched the Wizards of Waverly Place movie premiere on Disney Channel, I was there too. In that moment of time, we were watching the same thing. Same commercials, same everything. Provided you're in Australia. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this part. Selena Gomez was my transition goals, actually. Fun fact. I was obsessed with Selena Gomez's music. Anything she was in, any music she made, I was there. I had an album of, it was the Year Without Rain album, and it came with a little book with like pictures of Selena Gomez in different outfits. And I photoshopped myself onto every photo as an 8-year-old. I used my DSi Excel to edit photos of me in the Year Without Rain Selena Gomez album. Because she was my transition goals. Everyone has their transition goals, but for little kid me, Selena Gomez was objectively, without a doubt, my transition goals. Did I achieve that? Not quite, but hey, what are you gonna do? But yeah, I don't want to do the thing the video essayists do where they're like, Wizards of Waverly Place is about a family of wizards and they live and learn magic secretly. Alex is a teenager who goes to high school and learn, you know. That'd be so uninteresting. So I won't recap the show as much, I'll just say what they meant to me. Okay, so the thing with Twilight is that I think at the time it was cool to hate Twilight. However, let's flip the narrative. It's now cool to like Twilight. I said so. If a content creator says it, it must be true. Twilight is not a perfect movie. Is it a great movie? Maybe not. But I liked it. And that's what matters. Twilight Free Eclipse? Banger. Love that movie. Jasper's backstory? That should have been a movie. Jasper, best boy. So here's the thing with Twilight. Does Twilight contain toxic relationships? Yes. Does Twilight contain bad stereotypes of women protagonists? Yeah, but it was cool. It was my first M-rated movie. As a fun fact, the first time I watched the movie, I thought I was a big kid now. I thought I was in the big leagues. I watched an M-rated movie. I am cool. I went to school, strutted up to my friends, and I'm like, I just saw an M-rated movie. I'm cool now. What movie did you see? I saw Twilight. And then everyone in the group proceeded to laugh and point at me. Even though it has terrible flaws, it's fun and I like it. That is all. Also, did I mention Eclipse is really good? Oh, and just to clarify, because everyone's either Team Edward or Team Jacob, I think it's more like the lesser of two evils. Like, yeah, sure, Edward's kind of has trouble with boundaries, but Jacob's just strange. I'm a bit of a Jacob hater, I have to confess. I'm sorry, any fans of Jacob in the audience. However, I'll have to say I'm Team Edward. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this is a difficult revelation. Sorry. Similar to Mason, maybe I just hate werewolves. Because Mason and Jacob are both werewolves. The revelation. Maybe I just don't like werewolves. Sorry. Alright, now we're up to Good Luck Charlie. Good Luck Charlie is a very impactful show for me because Bridget Medler was also transition goals. Not as much as Selena Gomez, but I think because I saw a portrayal of a young university age woman, I think the main characters, I think Teddy's meant to be university age, I don't remember, or late high school. The only major bad I'll say about it is that Spencer is a terrible love interest. Girl, you can do better. There's just like one part of the show where like Spencer just cheats on Teddy like 2 times. So I'm a Spencer hater, I'm afraid. But I really liked Good Luck Charlie because it showed like a family dynamic, but I think I got gender affirmation from seeing like girl in a family dynamic, I guess. It's a bit hard to explain. And seeing her take care of Charlie, the baby in the show, was really endearing. And I like the idea of doing the cute video messages to show Charlie when she's older. That'd be an epic reboot, by the way, if she ever wants to do that. But I just really like that it was just a cute show and I found it gender affirming. And because it had a big cast of characters, I think it was easier for me to get away with watching this one. Because it's not just a girl show, the show has mostly men in it. See, I'm having a tough time, like Hannah Montana or Good Luck Charlie, which do I like more? Like, I saw Good Luck Charlie more, but I think Hannah Montana had more of an impact. So funny enough, that was the show I was watching right before high school was nearly here. So it's kind of nice to watch that show, I guess, right before that stage of life. So now we're talking about Shake It Up. Now, Shake It Up is a show I'm going to be completely biased on, and that's fine. Shake It Up is a show that is probably not great, but I liked it at the time, and that's all that matters. Both Zendaya and Bella Thorne are transition girls. Especially, like, for me, like, Bella Thorne was a massive one when I was a kid. So as a result, Shake It Up, even though it's not great, I'm going to rate it very highly simply because I like dancing. It has a theme song by Selena Gomez in it. It has dancing, has romance, it has dancing, it has good characters, has dancing. Like, sure, all the characters are kind of toxic, but it has dancing. So therefore, we're putting it a bit above Good Luck Charlie. Yeah, I just really like Shake It Up because of the dance. I think the characters are too mean to each other. So it's actually very hard to watch it now, but I like dancing, and every episode, they dance, sir. And I think the show is actually part of why I got into dancing as a kid, which is why I ended up doing hip-hop classes as, like when I was like 10 or 11. So in that way, and dancing is one of the most gender-affirming things I find doing. Like, it's just such a gender-affirming activity for me. So as a result, I think Shake It Up... Actually, I'm going to put Shake It Up above Hannah Montana. Is Hannah Montana a better written show? Yes. But Shake It Up has dancing, and it had cool 2000s outfits that have aged horrifically. But it was my nostalgia. So Shake It Up was a big deal for me. Here we go. It's a Totally Spies time. Totally Spies is totally cool. I like it. It's a show I watched a bit later than some of the other ones, so it's a bit hard to say for nostalgic impact. However, this is like the most 2000s thing I've ever seen in my life. I love it. It's just, I love the portrayal of hyper feminine girly girls, but they also go and kick butt. I like that a lot, and I think that helped me break down some stereotypes. Now sure, does the show do some strange things? Yes, but I like spy shows a lot. I like the trope a lot, and I found Totally Spies totally epic. I feel like everything is going into the very good show tier, which is probably not very interesting. I think I'm gonna put it a bit above Shake It Up, which is a bit of a shake-up. But I just think because Totally Spies is just a better show. But it did have some episodes of dancing, I guess. It's really tricky to make these decisions. Lovely audience, I must confess something. The next part is just Barbie in general. All things Barbie. I haven't seen that many Barbie movies, but the ones I did manage to sneak and watch, I had a fun time. I don't have too much to say other than Barbie being the literal embodiment of girliness in our culture. But I like these movies. They're nothing crazy. They never are, but they don't have to be. I've been told some of them are better than others, and I've seen the average ones apparently, but I'll put it a little bit above, probably above Good Luck Charlie. Okay, I have to be real. I understand Jessie is a favorite for at least someone. And it did lead to that spinoff Bunked, which I think is more well received. However, I have to confess to you, Jessie came out right at the end of me watching Disney Channel because I gave in to peer pressure and backed out of it a bit, unfortunately. Because there are some massive bangers that came out later in Disney's catalog. But at least Jessie didn't do it for me, I'm afraid. However, it was a bit euphoric, so I actually made this tier just for Jessie. I'm sorry. I understand I have a slightly younger demographic on YouTube, so there's probably Jessie fans watching, and that's fine. If you like Jessie, that's super cool. I didn't like it that much. I just found the characters a little uninteresting, and even the lead actress couldn't save it. But the actors are good, I just think the writing didn't work. But I was told its spin-off Bunked is really good, and it even outlived Jessie, so. Kim Possible slaps so much. It's such a good series. It's Kim Possible time. Yeah, what is the sitch? The sitch is that Kim Possible is an epic show. It had amazing characters, cool gender, like defiance, right? Because so many times the stereotype of these kind of shows in the 2000s was when they made a strong woman protagonist. The issue was they didn't give them flaws and didn't make them seem as human. However, they made Kim Possible able to have flaws by being comedically bad at pretty much everything that isn't her agent secret work. And I found it really, like, I felt very seen. Because I feel like I'm only good at the things I really put my time into. So I wasn't the best in school. So I really relate to Kim in that respect. And it's really cool seeing her do cool flips because I want to do cool flips someday. I tried as a kid, but I couldn't do it. But I'd love to learn it. But Kim Possible was really cool. Ron's a really, really nice, like, love interest, actually. I think their relationship's really positive and sweet. And I just like, yeah, the contrast of Ron being bad at everything, but Kim's good at some things. So they're kind of disasters together, and I love it. Draken's also my favorite villain just in anything. I love him. He's so goofy. So like, it's peak gender euphoria. Girl wearing cute outfits kicking butt. It's kind of like the Totally Spies thing, but they just did it better. I think Kim Possible just did it better. I also saw the Kim Possible movie so many times. So that is why I'm gonna have to put Kim Possible in the epic show tier, a little bit below Hamtaro. But don't get me wrong. The The epic show tier. That doesn't come easy. Not any show can be in the epic show tier. Kim Possible is just built different. And that is why it is now in the epic show tier. Yeah, there is a movie. I think the movie is the best part of Kim Possible media, actually. Because the movie kind of talks about, really digs into Kim's insecurities of her inability to date. And that leads to her feeling negative about her entire self. But then she kind of realizes that her self-worth isn't dependent on that. And she's a really cool person. And I really like it a lot. Yeah, the movie is essential viewing, in my opinion. Like, I think it really builds on the characters. And it's perfect. It's amazing. So that's the list. Wizards reigning supreme because it was impact on me. Hamaro is basically the first kind of girly show I was ever able to watch. So that makes it way higher than it might have been otherwise. It's just so cute. Kim Possible slaps. Amazing show. 11 out of 10. And then the other shows, of course, were great too. Except Jessie. I'm sorry. There might be some bias in that. I didn't like it as much. But I've been told Bunk's good, so you know. So, I hope you enjoyed this little adventure in kid shows I watch that were totally not for girls. Mom, I can watch this show. Still sis though. So this is a fun trip down memory lane. So if you want to see more trans related content, feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the funny notification bell, and stay tuned for more trans adjacent content. And I'll keep doing my best. If you like the video, then I'm really happy to hear. If you have a favorite childhood girly show, or even a boyish show for the trans men out there that you found gender affirming, let me know. And of course, stay hydrated and know that you are valid.